Straight away begin with your journey, the idea that led to Thayle, where you're going from here, the challenges, and the various opportunities it offers any entrepreneur.
Okay. So I'm 23 now. I started working on Thaely when I was 20. So at first, initially, it was a design project mostly. It was supposed to be something that I was just working as a personal project. And it was something that was going to be a part of my design portfolio because I was applying to a master's program in design after I was done with my BBA program. So this was mostly a personal project. But then, so the main idea was to find a way to recycle plastic bags because I had learned that nobody really recycles plastic bags, and they don't really have any monetary value, so they're also not collected as such. There's been a lot of fashion brands and that have been using rPET, which is a material made from plastic bottles. And we've been able to recycle plastic bottles for a very long time now, but plastic bags have had no attention. Despite the fact that they make up for 14% of all ocean plastic waste, they're not given any attention. So I wanted to find a solution to this, and I was working on a few different techniques, and the one that I developed, it was a chemical-free process to recycle plastic bags into a leather-like fabric. We call this fabric Thaely Tex. So it's a leather. It's basically a leather replacement. Initially, we had it in white color. Now we have two colors. We have white and black. And I had previously, before that, I had studied footwear design. So I did about 2 semesters of footwear design in New York. So I've always been interested in shoes and sneakers, etc. So I thought the best possible application for Thaely Tex would be shoes. So I made a rough prototype, and then I was sitting on the idea for about a year. And when I was 21, this was final year of my college. There was a startup competition in my university, something like Shark Tank. And generally, if you win, you get about 1 or 2 years of office space. And the school, so I was in Dubai at the time, and the university helps you set up your company in Dubai, and they fund the registration cost because that's a very big expense in Dubai. So I made so I thought this was possibly the best business idea I had from all my design projects that I was working on. I already had a prototype ready. I was pretty confident about the idea. I'd already gotten a domain name for the company. So I've had Thaely as the domain for 3 years now. So I made a business plan, a pitch, and all of that to go with it, and I presented it at the competition. So I ended up winning the competition, and one of the judges at the competition was Matteo Boffa. He's a Swiss social entrepreneur living in Dubai. So he's invested in a lot of startups that focus on sustainability and environmental projects, basically. So he was very interested in the idea, and he came on board as as the first investor and mentor. And then from then on, this was a matter of pretty much 1 week, and we started working on a more production ready, sort of refined prototype for both the fabric and the shoe sample. And so that was 2019, and then in 2020 we raised a lot more money in investment. And then we use, we set up the company in India. Then of course there was a pretty long delay because of COVID, and then start of 2021 actually end of 2020 we started the development again. We started production in the summer of 2021, and by July 2021 we launched the brand officially.
How big is your network today in terms of your manufacturing units to retail points to the people reached? How big is your network?
So, so we outsource pretty much all parts of the business. So we outsource the production. We outsource we're working with a waste management plant in Gurgaon that collects the plastic bags for us, and then using our machinery and our techniques, they recycle the plastic bags into Thaely text for us. And then we're working with a shoe manufacturer in Jalandhar who takes this fabric and they construct the final shoe for us. And then again, we have a warehouse in Delhi that does all the shipping and inventory management and all of that. So what we do in house is mostly marketing, website management, all of that. Um, we our biggest market is Europe at the moment. We've already got a distribution deal for Australia. We're finalizing a distribution deal for Europe, and we're going to continue to do so in other regions as well. So yeah, that's where we are right now.
Okay. So, how many people are impacted in two ways? First of all, people who are working with you, like in your chain, how many people get employment, and how many people are using your products? So, your reach in terms of consumers and employees, and your collection agents, whosoever are working on ground collecting. Any kind of a number that you can share with us?
So we have a team of about 8 people. Some of them are investors and they're also working on the business directly. Some of them are full-time employees. Apart from that, the waste management company that we're working with, it employs 25 people in just as waste collectors. And this is generally a very sort of disorganized industry where these waste collectors are not employed full time. Whereas these people, they employ them full time. They make, bank accounts for them. They give them insurance, things like that. And a large majority of them are working on the production of Thaely text itself, and the collection of plastic bags and the segregation and the processing of them. And apart from that, the shoe factory that employs about 200 to 250 people full time. We have a dedicated assembly line for our shoes itself. So about 30 to 40 people are working full time on producing Thaely. And this number is just going to grow because we are thinking of having another line to meet the demand that we're getting now. In terms of customers, we've got about we've sold about 3,000 to 3,500 sneakers now. I mean 3,000 to 3,500 orders that we've got. Some people have ordered 3 shoes, some people have ordered 2, stuff like that. So and most of our we've got a pretty diverse range of customers, across the world, mostly focused in Europe and America.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What are your plans? Like, what number are you chasing in terms of countries reached, orders, and human resource to be hired in coming months or years? Any immediate plan to share with us?
Sure. So I aim to hire about 4 or 5 full-time employees this year,
Okay.
mostly to do with the marketing side, customer relations, logistics, things like that. Um, I mean, so now what we're, by the end of this year, we're aiming to have a distribution deal in key regions. So, that includes America, Europe, Southeast Asia. Fair. And, other than that, we, we're just focusing right now to establish ourselves as like a sustainable footwear brand. We aim to have more designs, more colorways for the shoes, and very soon we also aim to sell the fabric on its own, Thaely Tex, to other brands, that are looking for a leather replacement.
How has been the story? Any challenges that you faced? Any kind of suggestions for the, because you are, first mover, as we say. So this, it comes with advantage and disadvantage both. How do you think you have done in terms of problems, challenges?
So I mean, one major problem that we had initially was, of course, COVID. It affected supply chains across the world. Um, Apart from that, the ease of doing business in India is not the best. There is a lot of varied paperwork and compliances and all of that you have to do. Um, but we now, we've got a good uh, team of accountants and lawyers and advisors that advise us on what is the right way to do things, because there's a lot of loopholes, because we're still like a young company, and we're outsourcing most of our production to other companies, so that also brings about a different challenge. If we were doing everything in house in one place, it would be a different thing. But we were working within 2-3 states. We're registered in Mumbai. Most of our orders are exports, so it's we import certain things. So that is a very big challenge in India.
You are in the trade of plastic waste, which is a huge challenge for the world, Achay. So, congratulations for
Thank you.
doing something interesting here. How huge is this responsibility? Because now we are really, we messed up, globally, and this challenge is immense. How much responsibility is for you and brand like yours, and the community, business community, the innovators, entrepreneurs? How much work we are doing right now? How much work we still must do? How are we, how should we overcome this problem?
So far we recycled about 50,000 plastic bags, and I think that's like a very, it's a considerable amount. But then when you realize that each person uses about um, 300 plastic bags each year, um, it sort of, then you sort of realize that, okay, it's a small dent. But of course, we are ramping up production and stuff like that, so we are going to make a slightly bigger dent. But the problem is just, it is very, it's way too big. We each year, I think we use 1 trillion plastic bags globally. um, so it's almost like it's a number that's sort of hard to imagine and put into perspective. So um, I think there's already things that have been done. Like there's countries that are banning single use plastic and stuff like that. But um, we've still not really found a good alternative to plastic. Um, there is nothing that's lighter and as affordable and as durable as plastic. So if not for plastic bags, packaging is still going to use plastic. The main component that we're recycling, it's called LDPE, and LDPE, it's not only used in plastic bags, but it's used for pretty much any packaging that you get. So I think that's a very big issue that um, I think just banning plastic is not going to really solve. I think you have to really go and recycle plastic more than anything. And you need you need bigger organizations and governments to come forth and also participate in it.
Plastic waste and society, every stakeholder. What do you think we more, should more put on table?
I think sustainable products need to be made more accessible. Right now, because it is a niche market and it's a very new way of doing things and doing business. I think there needs to be some incentive given. Maybe more lax taxes on sustainable products, because not only would it make it easier for consumers, but it will also encourage companies and businesses to make more sustainable products. We need to we need to give customers a alternative that is not so inaccessible that they're not able to actually because I think given the choice, most people would buy sustainable products and actually help conserve the planet and stuff like that. It's just these things are not affordable for most people, especially in India. So I think things like maybe a lower GST or like a lower import cost, lower stuff like that needs to be done and encouraged by the government. I think, I mean, so far, we've not really been able to have any such communication with the government here. Um, of course, we've received attention and stuff like that, under the Make in India scheme and stuff like that. But um, I think, yeah, of course, dialogue is important and stuff like that. It's just, I understand that these, things take time and it's like a slow bureaucratic process. But I think they should be done before it's too late. So for example, the waste management plant that we're working with, they've been able to sort of showcase our product and to the government. So they're in a few municipalities, and they've been able to be like, okay, this is what happens when we collect plastic and all kinds of waste. So uh, yeah, because because for example, the waste management company that had the contract in this place before, so for that particular region in Gurgaon, uh, all the waste that they were collecting was going straight to the landfill. But they were the cheapest option for more, because they were the cheapest option, which is why they kept getting the contract and stuff like that. So I don't know. I think yeah, I think the maybe the cheapest option is not the best way to go about things. I think we shouldn't just look at, and government shouldn't just look at, okay, this is the cheapest possible option. I think we also need to consider what is better for the environment and stuff like that. Because just the like, if you just see, there's this one particular landfill in Delhi, or on the outskirts of Delhi. It's like, like you talk about, like, oh, it's like plastic is a mountain of a problem, and it's literal that that landfill is literally it's the size of a mountain. It's the size of a, yeah, like from far away it looks like a hill.
Yes,
So
yes.
it's very evident that something needs to be done. And I think the only, like, we don't have to demonize plastic. It's something that's supposed to be recycled and is designed to be recycled. It's just that we're not doing it. We find it cheaper to just make more plastic and stuff like that. It benefits a lot of people, and I think we just need to look at things differently.